Okay, so this video we're looking at probability with Venn diagrams again, but more in a problem-solving kind of context. So let's get into it. We'll look at two examples. The second one is a bit trickier than the first one, but both good examples. So let's go through it. So example one, we've got 40 students were asked if they have a cat or a dog. So straight away, let's go and label up our Venn diagram. So we're saying either cat over here. So cat is our left circle, and we've got dog over here on our right circle. Okay, and we've got 14 have a cat, 22 have a dog, and 10 have both a cat and a dog. And maybe, right, you recognise what the issue is straight away, right? If we add together 14, add 22, that is 36, add 10 is 46, right? That gives us a total bigger than 40, right? And the reason is because if you have a cat, you may also own a dog, right? And if you own a dog, you may also own a cat. So that's kind of included within this 10. So we've got to take that into consideration. So it tells us that 10 have both a cat and a dog, so straight away, right, that can go definitely in the intersection part. That is saying we've got 10 both cat and a dog, right, which then means people that have a cat, well, it's going to be 14 is everything within the cat circle, so literally everything here. So just to get this part here, so this bit and then around to this bit here, right, that's going to be 14, take away that 10. So 14 take away 10, which is equal to 4. And then similarly, right, with dog, you've got 22 in total, right? So that includes the intersection part here. So 22 in total own a dog. So just to get this part here, right, this bit, we've got to go and do 22 take away 10, which is equal to 212. Because then, right, 10 add 12 is 22, and 10 add 4 is equal to 14. Right, but then 4 add 10 is 14. Add 12 is equal to 26. So we've got 26 there, but we know in total we've got 40 students. So that must mean that 14, right, have neither a cat or a dog, because 14 and 26 gives us that 40. So it's just being aware, right, that if your numbers go above the 40, you can't go and write in 14 there, 22 there, and 10 there, because of course you go bigger than 40, because it's saying, right, that some of them may have both a cat and a dog there. Okay, so now our Venn diagram is complete and that looks good. We can begin with the questions. So what's the probability that the student has both a cat and a dog? So we're just looking at that first part. We're looking at this bit here. So we can say that the probability of both a cat and a dog is going to be equal to, well, there's 10 there out of the total, which is 40. Okay, which is, you could write it as a quarter, but either of those is absolutely correct. You do not need to, with probability, you can leave your answer unsimplified. That is fine. So either of those is good. Okay, so that one nice and straightforward. What is the probability that the student has only a cat? So be really careful here, right? Because cat, it is the full circle, but you don't include the 10 because that could also be someone having a dog. Right, that is cat and dog. So here, really, we're just looking at this number here, because that is only cat is just this part of our diagram, which is the 4. So only a cat, we can go and write in. The probability of just having a cat is going to be equal to 4 out of 40, which you could write as 1 over 10 if you wish, but both of those are definitely good. Okay, they're both absolutely correct. So that is good. Last question, which is a bit of a sneak question, really. Right, it is saying, what is the probability that a student has a dog, right, given, and that's a really important word that often they ask in exam questions, right, given that they have a cat. So we're told, right, given they have a cat, is saying, right, so we're told that we're only choosing from this pool of people here, because given they have a cat, so they don't just have a dog. So given they do have a cat, so the total must be out of 4 plus 10, which is now 14. So the total is not 40 anymore, it's 14, because it's just looking at the cat circle, because given it's a cat. The probability that they have a dog. Well, we're looking at this 10 here, because that could be a dog in there. It can't be the 4, because that's just cat. The 10 could be a dog. So it's going to be 10 over 14. So the way we write, and this is quite advanced stuff now, you don't need to write this notation, but if you wanted to be really formal about it, you could say the probability of choosing a dog, okay, given, that line there means given, they have a cat, right, and that is equal to 10 over 14, which you can divide through by 2 if you want to give you 5, over 7. Look, that notation, if you learn it, fantastic. That just means the probability of choosing a dog given they have a cat. That's what that means. Okay, but that is your answer. So 10 out of 14 or 5 over 7. Either of those, both absolutely correct. Okay, example 2, a little bit trickier, a nice question this one. So let's get into it. So this one, you've got 60 students who are asked if they play football or hockey. So we've got either football over here, and we've got hockey over here. Okay, 45 play football, 10 play hockey, and 8 play neither football and hockey. Right, again, what's the issue here is if you add all of these up, 45 and 10 is 55, add 8 would give you 63, which is bigger than your total of 60. And the reason is, right, you could have some that play both football and hockey that we need to take into consideration. So what I like to do with these questions here is let's use a little bit of algebra, right, because we don't know how many play both football and hockey. So let's go and say, right, X is equal to people that play both football and hockey. Okay, so my handwriting is not too good. It's quite hard on this pen pad. So X is both, basically, right? So we're saying that both is this one here, which we're going to call X. So this bit here, which is both, we're calling X. Sorry, let's make that a little bit neater. X. Okay, well, if 45 play football in total, so the whole of this football circle here, the whole thing there is 45. Well, just this bit, okay, is going to be 45, and it must be take away that X. Okay? And similarly with hockey, right, if 10 in total, so the whole thing here are playing hockey in total, well, just this bit here is going to be 10, take away that X. So 10 take away X can go in there. And then we know that 8 play neither football or hockey, which is nice and easy, that one, that just goes on the outside. So this is really forming and solving an equation, because we know, right, in total, there are 60 students. So if I add together 45 minus X, add 10 minus X, add 8, they should equal to 60. Well, they will equal to 60. And then we can go and solve for X. So let's go and do that. So we're doing 45 minus X plus X in the middle plus 10 minus X plus that 8 on the outside, right? And that must be equal to 60, because in total, if we add everything together, we get 60. And then really, it's just a case of collecting like terms. So we've got what we've got here. We've got a 45, a number, plus 10, plus 8. And then we've also got, change the highlighter to blue, we've got a minus X. Oh, it's a bit dark, isn't it? We've got a minus X, a plus X, and minus another X. Okay, so 45 add 10 is 55, add 8 is 63. Minus X plus X is going to be 0. Minus another X is going to be minus X is equal to 60 on our right hand side. So we're saying, right, 63 take away what is 60? Well, X must be equal to 3. Okay, so now knowing that, we can go and fill in our Venn diagram. Well, if X is equal to 3, this part here must be 3. We've got 45 take away 3, which is going to be 42. We've got 10 take away 3, which is going to be equal to 7. And let's check, is 42, add 3, add 7, add 8 equal to 60? Well, yes it is, because 42 add 8 is 50, add 3, 53, add 7 is equal to 60. Good. So there, you know, to account for not knowing how many play both, because in the previous question we did know both, here we don't, I've gone and called that one X. Okay, and hopefully that made sense working through it. And then the questions, right, we're going on to what's the probability that the student plays both football and hockey? Well, now our Venn diagram is completed, it's really quite straightforward. So we're just saying both is going to be 3. So the probability, let's go and use a red pen, the probability of playing both is equal to, well, 3 out of your total, which is 60 students. And you could simplify this, right? You could divide both by 3 to give you 1 over 20. But again, right, I would leave my answer just as that, because with probability, you don't need to simplify your fractions. So that's fine. Either of those is definitely good. Okay, next one, the probability that they only play football. So that's a nice question because it's just testing your understanding of Venn diagrams. Only football, right, is just this bit here. Okay, not the whole circle, because that's both football and hockey included. So we're just looking at that number there, 42. So that there is going to be our answer. So the probability of only playing football is going to be equal to 42 out of your total, which is equal to 60. And again, you could divide through by 3, which would give you 14. Yeah, it's 3. So the same thing as 14 over 20. Okay, but again, both of those answers are absolutely correct. Okay, just one is simplified, one isn't. They're both good. Okay, and last but not least, the probability that they play hockey given that they play football. So that's another one of those ones like the previous one. So obviously they play hockey, but given that they play football. So right, let's draw what's going on there. So given they play football is looking at everything within here. So we're looking at the 42 add the 3, because 45 people play football. Okay, 3 could play both hockey, but that's the whole thing, playing football. And then we're looking at the probability that they play hockey. Well, it can't be that 42 because that's just football. It must be that 3. Okay, so it's going to be, if we're going to draw this one down here, it's going to be equal to 3 because we're looking at play hockey. So again, right, 42 is just football. 3 could be both. So it's going to be 3 out of your total, which is not 60. It's going to be 42 add 3, which is equal to 45. Okay. And again, you could simplify, you could divide by 3 to give you 1 over 15. And both of those are absolutely correct. And again, if you wanted to make that really fancy with your notation, you would write it as the probability that they play hockey given they play football. Okay, but you don't, well, it's good to understand that, okay, because it is good, but you won't lose marks for not knowing that. Highlighter. There we go. So either one of those there is all good. Okay, so hopefully that was useful. 2 quite nice questions, with the second one being a little bit more challenging, but hopefully useful. Okay, thank you.